Good afternoon, everyone. Country Flyboy here, and today, old dogs are learning new tricks. I picked up a new toy. Look at this lovely airplane. This is the Aerosoft Airbus X extended. I thought, I could use a new challenge. I've been flying. I want something new, and I thought, well, I've never flown an Airbus. So, yeah, I picked up this one. So I figured, let's learn to fly the Airbus. And I will say this. You guys know that saying that, or you know that little meme that sort of floats around the internet every now and then? It's a picture of a Boeing cockpit, and it's got switches and dials everywhere, and a pilot flying an airplane, and all that fun stuff. And then it shows you a picture of an Airbus cockpit, and it's just a pilot sit back, relaxed, and just one button that says "Go" on there. That meme is a straight lie. Although I will say, yes, this plane does have way more automation than a Boeing does. But that doesn't mean you don't fly this bird. You definitely do. So I want to go over some things that this airplane has done different than every other add-on airplane I've ever seen. In a way, it almost blows the NGX out of the water. Okay, so we got the two FMSs like we always. First of all, let's talk the view system. I kind of like the view system, and I kind of don't like it. Okay, so I've moved over to the first officer seat. So if I click this, it'll put me back in first officer seat because I like flying from the right side when I first get an airplane. I actually like flying from the right side sometimes. And this plane has no 2D panels other than like that. That's the only 2D panel this plane really has, and that's the main FMS. I've added the flight deck sound effect panel and the FS Captain MCDU panel, but that's one good thing in a way. It's also a bad thing, is since there's no 2D panels, then all your Shift 3 through Shift 9 is available for any add-ons you want. Well, hold on. Shift 4 through Shift 9. Sorry. Shift 3 brings up the debug thing. But yeah, you can add any add-on panels you want. The downside is it can sometimes be hard to flip buttons from the virtual cockpit view. Sometimes it's hard, especially if the click spots are really narrow. They kind of are on this airplane sometimes. The further away you try to reach, the harder it is to get to. But they added this little thing at the top here. You can hide it or you can show it, and it lets you get to the different panels to see things quickly. Say I want to fuck around with the overhead, I'll flip to the overhead, and I can screw around with the overhead. Want to go that way, go to the left FMS, the right FMS, etc. Okay, so that's the view system. The fact that it doesn't have 2D panels may be a blessing or a curse. Me personally, I prefer to have 2D panels for the primary ones. One thing that bothers me with the Captain Sim, though, is it relies a lot on 2D panels. You really do need them in that airplane. And Shift 2 through 9 is all taken up, and you need every single one of those 2D panels. So they did a good job in prioritizing which panels they put there, but, yeah, But you really do need to have 2D panels sometimes. They just work better. Let's talk the FMS. So, the FMS is a bit finicky in this airplane, in the sense that you kind of have a dual FMS, but you don't really. The left FMS is the one used for navigation. So, I can hit my takeoff info, punch the flight plan in, initial information, all that fun stuff. The right FMS, however, controls aircraft animations and whatnot. So I can, like the NGX, you can load an aircraft state. You can open and close various doors. Ground services. And there's other options here. Checklist, sounds. I'm going to point one thing out that I really, really liked about this add-on in a second, but so yeah, I do kind of like it. It does take some getting used to, especially that FMS. That FMS definitely takes some getting used to compared to a Boeing. I don't like the FMS, okay? I'm going to say it right now. I like the Boeing FMS better. As far as flying the plane, though, once you figure it out, once you get used to it, it's actually very, very fun. Now, I want to discuss one thing that really stuck out with this add-on, and why I think this add-on is actually better than the NGX in a way. This comes with FS2 crew, sorta. It comes with its own little FS2 crew thing. So you see this blinking down there. I'm gonna go ahead and click Start the Cockpit Prep.
Okay, let's start with the cockpit preparation checklist.
Oh, I forgot I changed that.
Both on. APU is on.
Navigation lights.
So what we have here is the built-in first officer and captain going through
Landing gear lever.
the checklist, and not only is it audible, like it, but it actually will fix things you don't have right. It will make sure everything's set up correctly. You can turn this off. There is an FS2 crew version for this airplane. I would like to point out that the captain voice,
checked.
that guy right there, that's not the default one. That is the Jeff Favignano. Oh, Jeff, if you watch this, I'm sorry if I butcher your name. But it's Jeff from Code Zero Gaming. I'm subscribed to him on YouTube, and he does a lot of good simulation videos, including Flight Sim. Highly recommend you check him out. I'll link to his channel in the description. But he had made an add-on of him, a few friends, and some chick, probably his girlfriend, made an add-on, a freeware add-on on AvSim for this, of him talking. So I got Jeff as my pilot flying today. You can't see him, but he's in that seat. Alright.
Set.
Ground proximity warning system.
R on.
So, yeah, that's a really neat thing. Oh, and it shuts up when you go to an external view, but they keep going.
Checked.
See? So I can go to an external view, just play around out here, and they'll keep going with the checklist inside. So that's really freaking cool. I really like that. As far as this plane in the air, it handles very nicely. Okay, they're done. So if you want a challenge, you want something different, I can definitely recommend you give this airplane a try. Just give this plane a try. It's an awesome airplane. Aerosoft did a great job modeling this bird. It takes a bit of getting used to compared to other add-ons. If you learn to fly the NGX, you can learn to fly this one. Just know it does take some getting used to. I'll show you one example. The throttle is kind of free moving in a way until you get here. Right there. After that, it moves in detents. So that's the climb position there. Next position is takeoff. And next position is full power. That's toga there. So it's free moving from idle up to right about there. That's about halfway up my throttle quadrant on my joystick. So yeah, and the way it works is you go there for takeoff. Once you're airborne, you want to throttle back to 2 detents, so 2 clicks to climb thrust. And if you don't, after that, you can turn the auto throttle on and be just fine. But if you try to fly with the auto throttle and you don't have that thing in the climb detent, this plane will bitch at you. It will start screaming and it's annoying, and yeah, so things like that, little quirks about it being an Airbus do take some getting used to. Also the sounds. You just heard somebody, probably Jeff, sneeze right there. So yeah, although it takes some getting used to, I can highly recommend this aircraft. I'm going to be playing around with it a lot more. I might even start doing regular flights with it, who knows. So definitely I really like this add-on, especially after I learned how to fly it. So hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely think about picking this add-on up if you're game for something a little on the different side. And we'll see you next time. Alright, Jeff, let's go ahead and go with the takeoff or the checklist for pushback.
Captain, the cabin is secure. All passengers are aboard.
Before start checklist, please.